Hello, Gav here. Just a quick message to say apologies. There's not been as much to the podcast coming out. Like I say, I've been unwell. Those that have been on the Twitter would have seen that. But thank you to everyone who kind of reached out. There's a few people kind of sent messages and stuff asking if I was alright. But fair play to Craig. Didn't want us going without a podcast. So him, Liam and Stuart have stepped up and done a cracking episode. Hope you enjoy it. Let the guys know at HFC Talk how they got on. And enjoy the game tomorrow. Cheers.
Welcome to this week's episode of Hibs Talk. My name's Craig, I'm hosting this week, and I'm joined by Liam and Stuart. How you doing, boys?
Okay.
A wee bit different this week. Gav's decided to let the lunatics run the asylum, so we'll see how this goes, but you're both doing all right?
Aye, not bad, mate. Doing all right.
How's wee Paddy getting on, Stuart?
He's okay. We just about lost him last week. He wasn't well. Must have ate or drunk something, but it was about 28 hours, but he's okay now. Paddy's back, eating my flip-flop.
Good, I cannot about flip-flop eating that. Doug's never got my sliders out his mouth.
Okay. I've had to go and buy another couple of pairs.
What about your wee do that was kicking about? What's happened with that? Have you lost it again?
Oh, the wee pigeon. Mate, I got a phone call with the owner for air. And he says, there's nothing wrong with it. He says, it's probably been up in the sky and a hawk's attacked it and it's scared to go back up again. And he says, just leave it. I says, I lost it anyway. he says, it's all right. I thought he was going to say, just wring its neck, big man, it's all right.
I get it to the dog to have a wee show about it. What about you, Liam? What's been going on up in Straighton?
Not much, mate. Just pushing it down the rain most of the time.
It's horrible,
Doing away, bro. Just keep myself.
Keep yourself good. Well, this week we'll know, obviously, because we're not doing it on a Monday, so there's no point in going over the weekend's game in great detail. We'll talk about it, and we'll talk about Thursday night as well. We'll keep it quite short and sharp this week because we didn't want to bore everybody, especially with me hosting. I've not done it for a while, and I'm not as slick as what Gav is. So obviously we had the game against Ross County 3-0. Before we go into the breakdown of the game, Liam, what was obviously you were there. How did you feel the first half in particular looked for where you were?
I thought we looked really good. We looked very dangerous going forward, but the main difference that I could see was that we were so patient in the build-up. We were controlled. We weren't panicking, we weren't forcing anything, we were just waiting for opportunities to arise. And I thought that's a lot different to how we were last season. I thought we panicked a wee bit more, not panicking, but maybe like trying to force things a wee bit more and losing the ball rashly. But it's as if we really didn't want to give the ball away on Sunday. And I just thought that we looked really, really good on the ball. And with players like McGuinness and Jamie Murphy playing well, it was always going to be a rout, I think.
No, I think you're right. I mean, from my perspective, I know you're a big Gogic fan, Stuart. But for where I was on Sunday anyway, it definitely seems as if this changing system and going with the sort of one up top with the two wingers and getting someone like Doyle Hayes in is really helping the midfield in terms of how they move the ball. I mean, when you think about last season, it was Newell and Gogic in the middle. And they kind of looking at their, not to go statty, but looking at their heat maps, they stay very rigid in terms of their position.
Yeah.
Newell to the left, Gogic to the right. Whereas it seems, for me anyway, that Doyle Hayes has definitely brought another element to this midfield. Like Liam says, we weren't panicking. He was constantly recycling the ball. He was dropping deep to get it for the centre halves. He was looking for McGinn, Doig, Boyle and Murphy.
I think Doyle Hayes, I'll keep it Gogic for the rest of the season, as long as he's fit. The guy is, I'm going to stick my neck out, and I'll say this to my laddies, I think he's going to be an ex-McGinn. I think the laddie is superb. He came to Hibs the same way that McGinn came to Hibs, a wee laddie, once he starts hitting, he'll be getting different.
But are you talking about McGuinness here?
No.
Oh, talking about Doyle Hayes.
I'm talking about Doyle Hayes.
All right.
Doyle Hayes.
Just because you said wee laddie, he's no wee.
No, but I'm talking about in the terms of muscle, and he's a wee laddie that is coming to the, like what McGinn done. Mm-hmm. And then what happened, McGinn just got bigger and bigger. He was on the weights and everything. And I think that's what they'll do with him. I think that laddie's box to box is unbelievable. He's so fit. And that's what Gogic didn't have. I think what will happen is Gogic will play the last 15, 20 minutes if we want to shut the game off. Mm-hmm. And that'll be his sort of, unless it's a big fighting match that they'll put him in. And I think that's what he'll be playing. And I do like Gogic. I've said that. I've never hidden the fact, but I still think that we've got a better player now. And well, I'm honestly, I really like the laddie, and we've got a good fit in midfield now because McGuinness is pushing up and he's in there, and great player.
No, I think you're right. I think we've definitely won a watch with Doyle Hayes stealing him away for Dundee United, and especially when you think about the kind of player that we thought we were getting with Jackson Irvine last season.
Yeah,
and for me, in the 3-4 games that he's played, he's already surpassed Irvine for me.
Way past him.
But just when you went back to the start, Liam, you're talking about McGuinness and Murphy in particular. Now, our group chat knows that Jamie Murphy's had the most plaudits. We'll put it that way. Even McGuinness as well. We were, the two of them had a bit of stop. Were very stop-start last season in terms of they never really had a full pre-season. I think McGuinness was still recovering from a cruciate when he came to us.
Yeah.
So they never had the benefit of a full pre-season. They're constantly trying to play catch-up and also playing that sort of 4-4-2 system that Ross favoured. But those two in particular, Liam, seem to have benefited for this, not only a full pre-season, but the changing system as well. Because I thought on Sunday, Murphy was excellent. Like he's one of these weird players that's no got any pace, but he still beats a man, no bother.
That's what I was going to say. I was saying that to my old man on Sunday. And he's so slow, but his feet are so quick and silky that he just fools folk, and he just glides right by them. It's so effortless to look at. But no, I think you're right. The changing system definitely suits both him and McGuinness, because often last season, you saw Murphy, although he played out left a lot, he was getting chucked in the middle of the park, up front. McGuinness was often playing out wide right. I think he went to wide right or wide left at some point on Sunday. But now you can see McGuinness is a centre midfielder and Jamie Murphy's a left winger. But yeah, I think definitely a full pre-season behind him. Keep McGuinness fit and he's the player of the year. I think he's brilliant. Jamie Murphy, a wee bit older, he's maybe a little bit more injury prone. Hopefully he stays fit. If he puts in performances like that against Ross County and how he's been playing so far this season, they'll keep young Mackay out of the team, no bother. I think they're both good.
No, you're right. The thing with Murphy as well is that he doesn't rely on pace. So he's not going to be someone that we're, like, I know he'll be maybe 32 at the end of the season. Like, you're still potentially going to get another 2-3 years out of him, like what Kilmarnock have with Chris Burke.
It's a different dimension that he gives you, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think with McGuinness, Stuart, I mean, I vaguely remember him to a certain extent, but you'll be better placed to say. But for me, McGuinness looks like he could be the modern day Pat McGinley for us in terms of his driving beyond. He's getting beyond goals. The front. And his 2 goals this season have came for practically the 6-yard box. Like, how often have we had a midfielder who's not only getting up to the strikers but getting beyond them as well?
Well, I always like that in a football team is when the midfielders are scoring goals, because you can't, if you're playing one up top or you play 2 up top, the centre forwards didn't always score goals. They have off days, and when your midfield comes through like that and help you out, like that was a header, and he must be about 5 feet.
Smallest guy on the park. A header in the box against a team of fucking ball punchers.
It's like, but he gets in the positions, and I think he'll probably get to double figures this year. You know, and that's coming from a wee guy, midfielder, who likes playing football. And I don't know if it was a blessing in disguise, and I feel sorry for Scotty Allen, but when Neil got sent off against Santa Claus, was it a blessing in disguise? Because when he came on, he changed the game. He came deep, getting the ball, passing it, and I thought he was probably one of the man of the match, because when he came on, he actually changed the game. So it was maybe a blessing in disguise that we lost Allen because he got taken off, which I didn't think. Well, I say that to you. You were sitting beside me.
We were
like, shit, you know, Allen's getting taken off, and I felt sorry for him, but he'll actually keep Scott Allen out the game. He'll keep him out the team.
I think that, you know, if they're playing effectively that number 10 position, Scott Allen's not going to go up and get beyond the strikers. He wants to be on the edge of the box, sort of that 35, 40 yards out dictating play, whereas McGuinness is prepared to take that gamble, you know, and get him behind.
Aye.
And I definitely think that with the two of them, with the way they've started the season, they're only going to get better, especially with McGuinness. You know, that's the when you look at our goal scorers this season as well, because I want to move on to Doidge in a minute. Like, we've won both games, scored 3 goals, and it's the same players that have scored in each game.
Well, you know, you talk about at the start of the season, we kept on saying, how many midfielders are we signing? But I tell you what, we're in a good way, because Scott Allen came on, and that ball that he put through to Mackay, Mackay didn't have to break a beat. He just put it right into him, and that's what he's good at. And when if Scott Allen's coming on, when teams are getting tired, he'll play lovely balls through the channels, past the centre half and right back or left back, whatever. And I just think that we've got so many midfielders now that we can change the game. Can we Gogic as well if we want to hold on to a lead? So I've got to take my hat off to Hibs and Jack Ross for what they've done, because we were like, we need forwards, we need this, we need a defender, and we were signing more midfielders, but we can change the game with different players now. So as I say, pleased with McGuinness, Scott Allen, Gogic. You've got Doyle Hayes. You know, it's going to be hard to get a game in that team, and that's what we need.
That's too often we've spoke about players getting a game because there's nobody behind them. You know, look at this changing system now, and Nisbet being injured's given Doidge a chance. And as good as you know, like I said, I thought Murphy was the best player in the park on Sunday. Doidge wasn't far behind him. I mean, the game's not all about stats, but even when you watch him, he challenges for everything. He'll jump for everything. He'll put his body in front of everything. Like, he's one that's also, I think, taking advantage of the fact in this change of system, because that's 2 games, obviously, against Motherwell when we went 2-1 down and scored within, a couple of minutes. And then obviously he's got himself into a position where he's met the cross for McGinn perfectly.
I still think we play best with Doidge in the team. I still think, because Nisbet plays better with Doidge, because Doidge is the one who's going up there and putting his arms about, you know, and Nisbet comes a wee bit short, and they play well. I think Doidge is. I hope we get another extension of his contract.
The Nisbet and Doidge partnership reminds me a bit of Grant Holt and Jason Cummins. Grant Holt used to do all the jumping and the dirty work, and I don't think Doidge is an awfully dirty player, but he puts himself about and lets Nisbet run in behind. But, you know, I like Doidge up front by himself. We've got more than enough supply to keep Doidge scoring goals, you know, for the wide positions with Boyle and Murphy and Mackay. But listen, I think Doidge is a superb player, and I'm just glad that he's off the mark at the start of the season, rather than, I think a couple of people maybe doubted him last season when he didn't start awfully well.
13 or 14 games or something, he went through the scoring, something like that.
I think people were starting to think, oh, is he a bit of a one-season wonder? Is he no good enough for this league? Was it a fluke? But I like to see him scoring early on this season, and he's a great player, and he's the kind of player the ball bounces off his arse and going.
Aye, here Liam, he comes back and defends as well. He can
I
chase.
love him, man.
Aye, he chases all the way back into the corner flag. Corner flag, and he's tackling down there. The guy gives 100% every game, but for tracking back, he's no a lazy player, and that's what we need in our team.
Aye, I love him.
I really do. I like Deutsch. I really do.
No, I think these are both spot on. I mean, how often do we have a pod like this where we're just talking superlatives about everybody? But another one that needs a mention, I think, after a couple of weeks it had is Josh Doig.
Oh.
He's another one who, like, that's the first time he's played in front of a crowd at Easter Road in a competitive match.
Superb.
And I thought the laddie was, the engine on him is, there's no wonder that teams are, Hibs are holding out for 4 or 5 million for him, because
he's worth every penny.
I'm not making comparisons in terms of ability wise, right? So we'll just get that out the road right away. In terms of ability, nowhere near. But in terms of his engine and his ability to get up and down the park, he's almost like Tierney.
Right.
Whereas Tierney can go. Tierney, when he was at Celtic, was back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. So just in case anybody out there listening wants to say that I'm comparing Josh Doig to Kieran Tierney, I'm no. What I'm saying is, in terms of an engine, in terms of their athleticism, they're very similar.
What is that laddie, Craig? What is that laddie going to be worth if he keeps on doing what he's doing in 5 years' time?
Well, that's what I mean. You look at what Tierney's went into Arsenal for 25 million. And he's shown as well with that cross for McGuinness that he's got that final product.
Aye.
He's and him and Murphy sort of dovetailing on the left-hand side worked so well, with Murphy coming inside, dropping the shoulder, and when he goes inside, it drags not only the sort of right-sided midfielder, but also the right back and a wee bit the centre back. So Doig had so much space to play in front of, up that left, especially I know we kind of killed the game off in the second half because we didn't need to go for any more. But in the first half, definitely, the amount of space that he was getting down that left-hand side was excellent. Not, due to his partnership with Murphy, but also due to the engine the lad he's got on him. Liam, I think he's a brilliant player, and he's only going to get better.
He's superb. And you think that at the start of last season, he thought he was a centre half, and he's been. I don't think he got pushed to left back. I think he's been told that he's good at left back, and had a cracking season last season. And on Sunday, it didn't even look like any of the transfer talk or anything like that it bothered him at all. I thought he was wonderful. Seeing him for the first time in the flesh, the thing that surprised me most about him, and the thing that I was really impressed with, was his close control with the ball, and he was just taking it past players, no bother at all. It's these things that, you see it on the telly, but it's not until you get there and you watch it in person where you really notice where a player's doing really well and doing not so well. But I thought Josh Doig was fantastic. The link-up play with Murphy for McGuinness's goal was wonderful. Listen, I've got nothing but good things to say about the laddie. And if he goes this window, he goes this window. Listen, we just need to enjoy him while he's here, because he is a top talent, and he's going to go straight to the top.
I agree, and I think he's probably got the best player that could help him as well. I think in Stevenson. I know we've all got our reservations about Stevenson's final product and all that, but in terms of his consistency and his, do you know what I mean? You didn't play over 500 games for Hibs if you're shite.
Aye, that's true.
Over 15. This would be his 15th season. 500 games over 15 years. Like he's the best mentor for Doig.
Doig, Craig, you actually, with regards Stevenson, he's played probably his best start to the season. Stevenson's played great, and then he's out the team. He's probably been in the top 4 in the last few games. Stevenson. He was immense in the first half against the Ekwa.
I thought so too.
immense.
He's good against Motherwell as well with that winger who was quite quick.
You know, so the cover that we've got for Doig and the cover that we've got for Stevenson, the two of them are there to say, right, you know, we're maybe playing a game that Jack Ross might say, you know what, we'll put Stevenson in the day because it's going to be a wee bit rough and tumble, and we'll give the lad a wee break, you know, just for this game because it's a bit of a kicking match, kind of like maybe against Livy or something, you know. They just play Stevenson. I can't believe that we've got two left backs at Easter Road that are superb. And you know what, with Doig, the best thing about it, Hertz fucking let them go.
It's
mentally, and like he's what is he? A couple of years? He'll be what? Maybe a year or two older than Hickey.
Aye.
And I know Hickey. Obviously, he's went and got them a decent bit of cash. But
is he not the same age as Hickey? Hickey not 19, Doig's 18.
No, I think Doig's just turned 19. I think because Jack Ross was commenting on it.
Let me check.
But no, you're right, Stuart. That's, you know, just like with Jason Cummins,
let him go.
That's another one with Cummins where we've reaped the benefits of it. He's had what? I mean, he would have had what, a year, maybe what, 6 months with us, and then 6 months with Queen's Park, and he's right in the first team.
Aye.
And then what?
They're
12
the same
months,
age.
12 the same age. So there you go. So and then 12 months later, you know, we're potentially looking at getting a club record fee for the laddie. It's just
the Jambo's only happy by it.
It is definitely an area I would need to strengthen pretty quickly if he did go. But maybe he's looking at the squad and thinking, why would I want to go there now? Maybe is it going to be a case where where he goes to a Watford or a Burnley or a something like that, and they just say, right, look, maybe even if we get to the group stages, keep him for another year.
Aye.
If he keeps fit and has another good season, then he'll go to Arsenal or like Everton, something like that.
But he didn't want him to go into there. Like Graham Matthews said, though, he's wanting to go to a club and have a discussion with a club where the club goes, right, here's what we'll give you for him, but here's what we're going to do with him. I like this new approach that Hibs only just gone, right, 5 million, cheers, see you later. They would rather know, you know, Matthew said he's played a full season in the Premiership, got to a National Cup final. He's now back playing, hopefully, soon, playing in front of crowds of 15,000, 20,000 every second week. Why would you want to sell him to go and let him sit in an under-23s team? He's only 19, the money will come. The money, what's the difference between earning his wage now and getting 10 grand a week next year? Can the 10 grand a week, I think for the way that Jack Ross speaks about him as well, and for what other folk have said, he's a really level-headed laddie. And he'll know, I think he'll look at it and go, well, do I need to leave there now? Probably no. I'm happy to stay. Get more exposure, because the more exposure he gets, the more money he'll get in the long run.
Craig, Burnley were wanting to put him on loan to Nottingham Forest. Now, I said this 2 podcasts ago. I said, what about Hibs saying to, like, say if it was Leeds that were offering them, they're saying something, they were already kind of it's rumour, but let's say Leeds are coming in and there's no way he's going to start playing the Premiership for Leeds, right? So they'll put him out on loan, and they were wanting to offer him 5 million. I said to whoever it was that was on it, I said, what about saying take 4 million then, but give us back for 2 seasons and assess it after 1 season. So we've still got the laddie, and it means that Leeds or whatever team it is are saying, well, you know what, they're not trying to rip the eyes out of us, but they're wanting the player back. Yeah, well, we may as well, because he's not going to be playing in our team rather than.
I completely agree. If he's not starting for a team that he's signing for, we've got to get him back on loan for a season at least.
Aye.
The million that we're missing out on as well for the sale could be worth more to us in the long run because you're having him in the team.
Correct.
So no, I think very, very, very good start to the season for us. I think league, domestically, the team for me back to front is just excellent. Porteous seems to have, Porteous and Hanlon have started the season well. McGregor again stepped in on Sunday when Hanlon was injured and looked great. Paul McGinn, another one up and down. Joe Newell, tidy. Joe Neal's not going to be on the back page every week, but he'll be a 7 to an 8, in the ratings.
Well,
and then obviously you've got.
I think Joe Newell has had to up his game the last few weeks because he knows that because he got dropped out when he got suspended, and I think he's seen the guys coming in taking his place, and I think he's looked at it and thought, I better up my game, because I think he's doing a lot more running, because he used to sit right in front of the back four and go sideways. That's all he was doing.
Yeah.
An odd ball going forward and through between two players. But now he's actually driving. And I actually think he's probably said to himself, I better up my game to get a game. Because I've seen the difference. Which is great.
You want look at like McGuinness looking over his shoulder, I think, and Scott Allen's right there. Murphy and Boyle looking over their shoulders, knowing that Mackay's there. That can go all the way back to the team. And then obviously talk about Boyle, like Boyle's just he's when you think back to this will be his what? He signed for Hibs in 2015, like January 15.
Was that?
We swapped him with Dundee for Alex Harris. What a fucking move that was.
The first year we were down.
Yeah, it was, so it would have been January 15, So he's now coming up. He'll be at Hibs for 7 years come January. And the player that we got compared to the player that he is now, especially in the last, I want to say, sort of maybe 2.5 years, he's just went up, but he's just went levels and levels and levels.
Well, in international football, he just came out today and said that he's nominated for Player of the Year for
the Australian Player of the Year.
Australia.
Aye.
So is Jamie McLaren.
I've seen that as well.
A player he was,
Yeah. But, getting with Boyle, I said to my mate last night, Big Kenny, I said to him, I says, wee question, Boyle, now his wife plays for Hibs, and she's well thought of there as well. They've got a young family. If Hibs are giving them a wee bit extra, are signing on, because I've heard that I don't know how, it was a rumour, I don't know how true it was, but it came from a good source for a mate of mine, saying that they're trying to talk to Boyle with regards signing another extension. Now, if that's true, we can go to Messi and we can go to, Boyle, right? I'm not talking about football ability here. I'm talking about money, Liam. I'm talking about money, right?
Boyle's real better anyway.
How much money do you need in the world? Messi's got 400 million, right? It's in his bank or wherever it is, right? He can't spend it. Now, if you're earning 250 grand, 300 grand a year, you live to your means. And it's the same as Boyle. He doesn't look like the extravagant guy that, he's got the big flashy car and all those things. He likes to go out for a wee beer and whatever. Good guy. But, how much money do you need? If he goes down south, say, and he goes down and one is his missus isn't happy and they've got to uproot their kids and whatever, who's to say that they're not happy? And he's the club joker in the changing room. He goes to somewhere else. It might be a club that didn't have all that hilarity in the changing room, and then he's like, this is getting a wee bit, I'm not as happy playing in this club as what I was back at Hibs. If you're in a team and you're earning enough money, more than a bloody a doctor, for enjoying yourself, going in and training till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and going home, and you've got your family life. How much do you need? So he might be that type of lad.
I'm telling you this right now, Martin Boyle is going absolutely nowhere. I'll tell you that I can guarantee you that he's going nowhere.
I think with Boyle, for me, there'd be no point in him going down to England for a year or 2 years. If anything, I think with now the fact that he's playing for Australia, it would be one of these life-changing sums of money for like Ryan McGowan when he went to China for Hearts. I think something like that. Like, and that's going over that side of the world, and why uproot your family to go and stay in Bristol or Ipswich.
Craig.
So I mean, places like that. Hull. Why would you want to go and stay in Hull? Like,
Craig, a wee question, son. Right? Wee question. If you were to get 250 grand, right, as from now, each year for the next 4 years, right, you've got $1 million plus bonuses, right? That's you getting 250. Would that set you up for your life?
probably not for life, but it would certainly.
No, but you're going to need coaching.
You'd be smart with it. Aye, like.
Yes.
You're
smart with it.
You're no looking in the reduced section at Tesco anyway.
Aye, that's right. Aye. So you've got that a 4-year deal, right? Sorry, I'm getting messages through Adele's. Can tell me where I'm going in next week in 2 weeks' time. So what I'm trying to say is, in 4 years' time, he might move into coaching or something. He'll still be in the game. These guys, these good players are usually that. So what I'm saying is, if you're making that type of money, you're not going to be skint. And you'll still play until you're 36, him, because he's fit. He'll still be playing until he's 36, 37, somewhere. There's Buck, what did you see, 38?
Buck's 38, 39, I think,
playing in the Championship. Now, who's to say that he doesn't go back up to Dundee when he's 38, playing they might be in the Championship or something, and getting yourself £500 a week.
Mm-hmm.
Pocket money. You know what I mean? So people have got to look at the big part and just say, right, am I want to go somewhere else and make 10 grand a week? Yes, it would be nice, but am I going to be happy in that club? He's a number 10. He's probably first on the team sheet. I don't know if you can hear that.
What more could you want? Like, money's not everything. Like, he's got that relationship with the fans as well, where he's a proper fan's favourite. And no, like I said, it's not often we get to wax lyrical about how good Hibs are. So, long may it continue. Well done to Jack Ross and Graham Matthew, etc., for their summer recruitment. There's not been a lot of it, but what they have done, it's allowed us to move into the shape that we're in just now.
Guys.
Craig, I keep on thinking, where are they going to put this American laddie?
On the fucking bench.
Muller, that's the thing. Like, he's another one. He's another one coming in. Like, the hype of that, to me, that shows you how good we have been on the park. That when that was announced, it was like, right, when we're getting them. And now it's like, I've completely forgotten about it until you just said it. So,
but where's he going to go? Don't know.
But it's good though. That's what we need.
Okay.
So moving on to the big one tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah, beauty.
Yeah, we'll go with Rijeka. Rijeka. Right, we'll go with Rijeka. Rijeka away. Finished third in the Croatian League last season, and as we've seen last Thursday night, now I went back and looked at sort of highlights / stats, right? And I like looking at stats, but I also think that stats don't tell you everything. They had more of the ball, but it didn't look like they had more of the ball. For me, they didn't seem to do a lot with it. I know they moved it about quick. I know they moved it about quite comfortably. But for me, they didn't do enough to show that they are going to be a completely different side over in Croatia.
I thought we took a while to wake up as well.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. I think we did. But I know that, there's been a few boys in the chat like Callum saying, they're going to be a different beast. But usually you can see elements of teams when they're not.
They didn't look two-dimensional.
You know what I mean? They didn't. No, but usually if a team's not at full pelt, you can they're not at full pelt, so you can that there's another gear that they can go up. Now, I'm not saying that they're a shite team, because they're clearly no.
No.
But I didn't see anything for them, Stuart, on Thursday to indicate that we're going to turn up there and they're going to blow us away. No,
I think how the stats show that I had more of the ball, Craig, is because the goalkeeper played at about 2 yards outside the 6-yard box and played about in the 18-yard box, and then tried to put the long ball diagonal. They were playing like that. They were playing in the 18-yard box. It's like a game of fives. They were trying to pull us in. as deep as that, and we were just sitting off them. So they were letting them play about, but I noticed that in the second half, it was like the goalie, because I was sitting where Liam usually sits, and we were in line with the 18-yard box, and it was like they were playing so tight in the box. They're comfortable in the ball. They're a good side. But I think that's how the stats show it, because they were playing about at the back. I don't, as you say, I don't know how they're going to change and play a different side. I hope I'm wrong, but I just didn't think that they can play that. That's the way it goes. I would, if I was Jack Ross, I would be telling them, if let's say we're playing 2 up top, I'd be saying press them right into that 18-yard box because they want to play there. Go for them. Make mistakes. That's all I would imagine. They could do.
I know. I agree with you. Like I said, I didn't see much to say that they can go up another level, but Liam, they have got a couple of danger men. They've got Abbas. I think was it Abbas that scored, or Ampem that scored.
It was the other one.
They two in particular looked quite handy on the ball. Like I said, they didn't do a lot to have us worried, but they definitely showed in glimpses that they have certainly got quality on the ball, and they have got the quality to hurt us as well.
Definitely. I mean, I think you could tell that with our goal. It was a bit of back and forward in terms of getting the ball across the box, but it was, in the end, it was a good delivery and a good header, albeit Hanlon and Stevenson were all at sea. I don't know, they were away fucking getting a sausage roll for Greg's on Easter Road, I think, when the boy headed the ball back in. But listen, I think they're a team that's definitely got to be respected. We are looking at them. They've just finished third in the Creation League. I think they're European regulars. I think they're up there or thereabouts in their league quite often, more often than not, probably.
I think they've been in the group stages. Without looking too much into it, they've definitely been in the group stages of the Europa League.
League. I'm sure they beat Aberdeen a couple of years ago.
Aye.
So they're a team.
AC Milan as well.
Aye, they're a team that's definitely got to be respected. But if they play the way that they played on Thursday night, like Stuart says, just arsing about with the ball, I thought we were by far the better team. And on another night, I think it could have been about 4 or 5-0.
Keeper made a few good saves. I think, did we not hit the post as well at some point?
Stevenson hit the post.
Stevenson hit the post, yeah.
But listen, if we play the way that we played on Thursday and on Sunday and get our good players on the ball, calm down, be patient in the build-up, then I think we should beat them. I think they will be a wee bit different in Croatia.
Obviously, they'll have their support behind them as well.
In front of their own fans and their own climate, I think it's maybe well watery there now. So we might see a different team in terms of performance. But listen, you couldn't really see where they would improve that much. I thought they had, like you said, they had a lot of the ball, but they didn't really do anything with it. I can't remember them, apart from the goal, testing Macy all that often. So it was mostly long shots and they were going over the bar and wide and stuff like that. So listen, I'm not afraid of them.
The only thing, Liam, I can think of that they can change is maybe they came to Easter Road and they were just slowing the game down and maybe hitting on the counter, and that was it.
What would be the point in that, though, because of the away goals?
I know, but if they were to try and stop Hibs from scoring, maybe there'll be more attack minded at home, and it might be, the game might be quicker. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of how they can change their game.
I think if they do that, like we're a really good team on the counter attack. So if they want to do that, I think we've now got the defensive resilience to be able to withstand, because there's not going to be a barrage of attacks. Like, let's be clear, I don't think it'll be that at any stage, but we've definitely got the resilience to hold against, being patient in terms of a team playing the ball across our box, no committing a body forward and leaving a gap, like staying quite rigid and quite solid, and then getting the ball and hitting Murphy or hitting Doige and letting Boyle sort of spinning behind.
Definitely. I think that's probably where we're going to get most of it join me, to be honest. I've got full confidence in Hibs going out there and doing the business tomorrow. I've got fully confident. Of course there's doubts and stuff, like they might play a wee bit better, but I ken that if we play to the ability that I've seen from us recently, then we will go out there and we'll be in the next round.
Here's hoping.
No,
Fingers crossed. Anyway, I bet you I've just jinxed it.
Okay.
I agree. So we'll go predictions.
David Bowie's gone.
Go predictions then, Liam. What are you going for?
I'll go for a very modest 1-0 Hibs.
Who's your scorer?
Kyle McGuinness.
Stuart?
Who? McGuinness.
Kyle McGuinness.
Right. I think we'll let a goal in, but I think we'll win 2-1. And I reckon Boyle, if he's running in it, I think we'll get a penalty. I don't know, I can just see it. I think.
We definitely should have had one, at least one the last time we played them. So.
I didn't know how the ref didn't get it. He stood right in front of him. But I think we'll get a pen. But we'll win 2-1. And I think it'll be Boyle and Dodge. Because I don't know if Nisbet, he got a bad deed leg. And sometimes it can take 2 or 3 games before you can come back to that. Come back for that. So I think, I'll go for Dodge and Boyle and a penalty for us.
Certainly don't think we're missing Nisbet on Sunday anyway, so I'm not really all that bothered about him being out. If he is out, we can that we've got players who can replace and score goals and do the business.
Well, they were panicking. They panicked when Dodge came on because they swapped their centre half that they were playing and they changed to the centre half with a mask. The mask boy came on, Zorro. He came on and fucking because Dodge was upsetting them. So if Dodge is playing, I hope they maybe keep the team really late because there's a possible chance they might not play that guy with a mask. And the guy that centre half was getting upset. He was getting upset. He couldn't follow Dodge with the runs and the aerial threat. So I think Dodge could be the big problem up top for them.
I think I'm going to go with a draw in the 90, and then we'll either sneak it in extra time or sneak it on.
Oh no, did he? And then penalties.
I think so. I know I've said that I didn't see a lot coming for them, but still, as attacking as we were, the only limit he does to a goal.
I almost sleep the night now, Craig.
So especially with I know the team have travelled out a day earlier this time to let them get acclimatised, but it's still going to be, it's a different kettle of fish when you're playing in 30-degree heat. Air's really humid in front of a different type of crowd as well. Like this will be the first time a lot of players that have played in front of like a foreign away crowd. A
horrible crowd.
Probably. And we know the sort of Balkan regions like the Croats and the Serbs and all that, they can be off their fucking rocker.
Aye.
So
did you see Paul McGinn's interview?
I've not seen any interviews yet.
Paul McGinn, just before he was finishing, he says, "They two are annoying me. They're putting me off my interview." Dodge and Neil, they're kicking about, and he says that. And then McGinn says, "A lot of the guys, I reckon, that's what we're just talking about. They're going to Croatia, so they probably didn't think there was going to be any sun over there." So he says, "A lot of the guys haven't got any sunglasses." He says, "So they're asking Mick for mine." He says,
I did notice on Instagram this morning a few of the players had like the sort of same panoramic shot of their hotel because they were looking right onto the sea. But I'm going to go for a draw in the 90 and then steal it in extra time or on pens.
Jesus.
I don't think I could deal with pens. I love pens.
Neither could I.
I'm
but
watching
listen,
pens when I didn't have an affinity to either team. Like in the Euros, me and you wanted pens every round.
Aye. As soon as we got to the knockouts, we
wanted pens all involved. Oh no pens for me, please. I'll take a 5-0.
But no, I think that with the way we've started the season, we're going into the game with a lot of confidence, and I certainly don't think there's anything to fear. Off the back of the game tomorrow night, we've also got the second round of the League Cup on Sunday against Kelly.
Yeah.
Depending on how Thursday, we'll not go into this too much, obviously, because we've got a game before it, but depending on how tomorrow night goes, I'd quite like to see a bit of rotation for that. Get minutes in the legs of Mackay, Allen, Gullen, McGregor, Dabrowski, give him a
I
game.
was just going to say that, Dabrowski. And I'll tell you why. I don't know about you, but I've watched a couple of games with Kelly just because they were on the telly. No, I wasn't want to watch them. And they're absolutely shocking. They're howling.
They're fucking rubbish, like.
I watched 6 of them.
I watched them against Ayr, and they were
piss poor.
They were bogging until they got a penalty that never was.
Aye. So I think we could still beat them. Scotty Allen getting, 90 minutes, hopefully, and then the rest of them, as you say, bring them in. But I think we could still beat them convincingly because they've had to change the players and they're playing with championship players now. I just don't rate them at all.
Yeah.
And because we've got, I would say that we would be toiling, but it would be a tight match if it was at Killie, but on that shitey park. But at Easter Road, I think we'll take a few of them.
Hope so.
Hopefully. Well, we'll just wrap up there, boys. Thanks very much for taking the time out to come on. Obviously, we'll put, well, it's not live, so I didn't need to say by the time this goes out, it'll be in the socials because you'll already know. But follow us on Hibs at HFC Talk on Twitter, our Twitch channels. We'll be back on Twitch soon. We would have been on Twitch tonight, apart from the fact that I'm a moron and didn't know how to edit and upload and do the overlays and all that. So we're just sitting on Zoom. I've had to get Gav to send me screenshots of what to do when I finish, so I didn't lose anything. So
see if you do, you get it. I do.
I know. So
yeah, I'm not coming back on.
No, I do appreciate he's coming on with me tonight. Like I say, first time I've hosted in a while, so I'm a bit rusty. We'll be back. Right. We'll be back again over the weekend at some point to talk about the game tomorrow night, and also looking at Kilmarnock on Sunday. So keep an eye on the socials. So Hibs Talk on Facebook, at HFC Talk on Twitter, and we'll be sure to catch us again soon. Cheers for joining me, lads.
Cheers.
No worries, mate. Thanks for having us.